Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Reviews, and my latest film for you guys here now happens to be The Last Duel, directed by the legendary Ridley Scott, who's still going strong in his 80s, and this film was obviously delayed because of COVID, and because clearly the studios need to release content. They are releasing this film, and it's 2.5 hours long, and people are going to be like, what? A 2.5 hour film about he said, she said in medieval France? Heavens to Betsy, do I have the time to watch a 2.5 hour film? And let me confess that I am a history major. I happen to love things about history that I have not previously learned about. And clearly, I never heard of this particular story, but of course, we all happen to know about the return of Martin Guerre and several hundred years later in French history. And this tells the story of friends turned rival John de Carreau and Jacques Grease. When it comes to the male story, obviously Matt Damon and Ben Affleck wrote that material, and it's odd to see Ben Affleck with bleached blonde hair, whether or not that actually is true. The actual person, Count Pierre, way back then, I don't know. Now, there are 3 chapters here. Obviously, the truth by this person, the truth by this person, then the truth, obviously, by Marguerite here. And Marguerite is played by Jodie Comer. I have not watched, Killing Eve, so please don't kill me about that as well. Clearly, some people have said that this is a sort of a medieval version of the Me Too movement. Hey, if you want to think that, please go ahead. But of course, Ridley Scott have been exploring the similar themes throughout history, and it's funny to know that his career started out with a film called The Duelists, and he's explored medieval history, obviously with Gladiator and Kingdom of the Heaven. I happen to like that theatrical cut, and even though I know the director cut is much better. Haru is here, played by Ben Affleck, is presented as a noble guy trying to do what's right, trying to provide for the land, his family, or he marries his wife, in hopes that, they can help his social standing. And granted, this thing does not skip out on the warfare, because warfare back then was a brutal combat sport of a thing. Action slowly shifts to Legris. Obviously, the Legris character here is portrayed more or less as a, playboy-esque type of person. And at least at one point he says, I wanted to become a monk, but obviously things didn't exactly work out the way I wanted them to. He obviously goes deeper into the social circle of Count Pierre. The Matt Damon character of Crow is sort of portrayed here as a whiny person. Even though he does have some military adept, he's not outstanding. And he's constantly suing Pierre for the lands that he thinks it's owed to him. Obviously that causes a rift between those two men. The rape here, which, let's face it, Caro did accuse Legris of raping his wife. Now, of course, we don't know whether or not Legris raped Marguerite. Obviously, this movie presents it as fact. Obviously, of course, there's bad blood over the fact about land. Clearly, that could have been an instigator for, for Crow accusing Legris of rape. Legris here is sort of presented as a romantic interlude, probably on the basis of, Luke and Laura, although not quite as odd. When we get to the perspective of Marguerite, her husband, Nora Legris, is presented all that well. Basically, with her husband is a cold, manipulative bastard who only married her for land and opportunity and to get ahead. And, he's prideful, and Legris obviously violently raped her. And the Crow's mother, who, again, I don't know how old people aged all that well. Basically, she says to her, hey, look, I didn't understand what it is to be that young. I was raped, I moved on, and basically the Marguerite character is just sort of incensed about all this, and basically the mother-in-law sort of rationaling it all away, and maybe that's the way it was. Obviously, it was the way back then, because, hey, look, woman or men's property. What you can do here is just say, hey, look, this is a defiling of one's property. Yes. Now, obviously, yes, the Last Duel here, when it actually is presented here, it was actually a spectator event with King Charles VI, who, if you actually knew what King Charles VI was going through at the time, looks like he's on the verge of madness, and yes, later in life, he would actually indeed go completely, utterly insane due to genetic conditions. Now, obviously, from what I've heard, that Ridley Scott is going to make a Gladiator sequel. Heck, I'll be in that theater for that, and also a Napoleon film, which I obviously would like to watch as well. So in the end, folks, what I'm going to say about The Last Duel, I am going to give this a leave work early because I truly enjoyed this. I know a 2.5 hour runtime will put some people off, but please go out and go see this film. So folks, The Last Duel, have you seen this? What do you think? Please put everything in the comment box below here, folks. As always, folks, like, comment, subscribe, enrich yourself with knowledge. I'm at Michael Rich2 at Rich Reviews 2 on Twitter. Yes, hooray.